Hi friends, thanks for joining me for another lunch break stretch and balance flow. I hope you're ready for an ease-filled standing flow to help us find some space through our spines and our shoulders. As usual, we'll need a body-sized space and a chair to help us with some balancing. I'm so lucky to be practicing outside today. We need to take advantage of this summer sun while we can. Let's find ourselves standing tall, heels under our hips, crown of our head reaching up to the sky, and we'll begin with a couple active breaths. Your inhale reaches your fingertips up to the sky, and as you exhale, your hands float back down by your sides. We'll do this a couple times, and with each exhale, find yourself really beginning to drop into your practice. Feel the earth beneath you, and really start to feel that breath flow. With our next exhale, this time we'll hinge forward at the hips and bring our hands to our chairs in front of us. Coming into a supported halfway lift here, we feel our tailbone reaching behind us, crown of our head, fingertips reaching forward. Length through our legs, we feel our feet in the earth. Maybe give those toes a wiggle. We'll start to bend into our knees and we'll step our right foot forward, lengthening that right leg, keeping a bend in our left knee. Our hips sinking behind us, fingertips reaching forward. We'll eventually step our right foot back and step that left foot forward. Left leg lengthens. We feel length through our spine. Feeling our breath flow through our body. And with our next inhale, we'll start to step that left foot back, coming back to our neutral forward fold. Let's take a big inhale here. Then as you exhale, our fingertips will come to the earth. Let's gently step our left foot back, allowing our left heel to fall to the earth. Generous bend in that front right knee. We'll inhale our fingertips tall into warrior one. We'll let our right hand fall to our side. We'll eventually bring a bend into both elbows, that right arm bending up towards our low spine. Maybe our fingertips come to touch. In our cow-faced warrior one here, we feel those elbows reaching away from each other, our chest open. With an exhale, we'll release those arms, bringing them back to the earth in front of us. Step that left foot forward. We'll step our right foot behind us. Again, that heel comes to the earth, and we'll inhale our fingertips above our head, bending into that front left knee. This time, we feel our left hand come to our left side. A bend comes into both of our elbows, and those fingertips begin to work their way towards each other. Doesn't matter if they connect or not, we're feeling our chest open, our heart open, lots of space through our shoulders. Taking a deep inhale. Ooh, feel that expansion as our fingertips reach to the side on an exhale and then come to the earth in front of us. We'll step that right foot forward and begin to inchworm our feet a little bit wider as we come into a deep forward fold. In our version of ragdoll, we're letting our head hang heavy, maybe taking a gentle rock side to side, letting that low spine really release and melt forward. Feel your breath, feel your chest and your belly expand. And with one of your next inhales, we'll begin to inchworm those feet back under our hips. Those fingertips come to the earth, and we'll step back with our right toes. This time we're keeping that heel lifted. Keeping our right hand in the earth, we'll begin to peel that left hand up to the sky. We feel that left shoulder begin to stack on top of our right. Those hips are sinking forward, our knees above our ankle. If we'd like to, that left elbow begins to bend. Let's take a big inhale here. Feel strength through that long right leg behind us. And as we exhale, we'll release our left hand back to the earth, followed by our right foot coming up to meet its partner. We'll take a shimmy and a shake. And when we're ready, we'll step those left toes back. Remember, we can always reach to our chair for any support, for some balance. And if you'd like to keep those hands on your thigh, even bring that back left knee down, whatever feels great for you. Either way, we're going to try to bring that left hand to the earth and let our right hand this time reach up to the sky. Once again, if we want, we can bring a bend into that right elbow. Let those hips sink forward. And eventually that right hand will come back to the earth. We'll step our left foot forward. We'll take an inhale as we shimmy and shake our knees. Take a wiggle, and then as we're ready, we'll begin to come standing tall, lifting those fingertips up to the sky, big stretch before bringing our hands through our heart center. Let's inhale those hands one more time up to the sky, feeling length as we stretch. And then exhaling those hands wide, we'll begin to step that left foot back, keeping our left heel lifted. That right hip is pulling behind us, left hip sinks forward. Those shoulders are stacking over our hips, our knee over our ankle, and our hands reach tall to the sky. We're gonna hang out in our tall lunge here. We've been in this posture once before, but let's really feel that expansion through our hips. Feel our shoulders open. If we'd like to, maybe those fingertips reach behind us into a gentle back bend. Feeling some opposite forces here from maybe sitting at a desk all day. When we're ready, we'll exhale those fingertips to the earth and we'll begin to walk them along the left side of our practice area. Eventually, those toes will both point to the left side. We'll inhale tall, hands to our hips. And as you exhale, we'll fold forward into this wide-legged or straddle forward fold. Those hands can come to the earth to support our upper body. Maybe we bring our forearms to the earth. Maybe we shift gently from side to side. Whatever feels good for our body here. Remember, yoga isn't about looking a certain way. It's just about feeling great, nourishing our body. So listening to what your muscles say and doing what feels best for you. We'll eventually enjoy an inhale up to a halfway lift. And then we'll use some strength from our exhale to lift that crown of our head tall. We'll let our left toes point forwards to the back of our mat or practice area. Those right heels lift off of the earth, fingertips reach tall, and we meet again in our lunge on the opposite side. So again, we'll hang out here for a couple breaths. This time feeling that right hip sink forward, left hip moves behind us. If we'd like to, we're inviting a gentle back bend. Long inhales, that chest expands, our belly expands. Exhaling, eventually those fingertips will come back to the earth. Walking them once again along that left side of our practice area or our mat, coming back into that wide-legged or straddle forward fold. We'll come back to standing tall before we fold once again, reaching those fingertips up to the sky. We'll allow them to come back to our hips. And as we're ready, we'll begin to hinge forward at our waist. And again, you can come to whatever version feels best for you here. You can let your hands come to your thighs for support. Your hands can come to the earth, your forearms. An alternative here is we're going to sweep those hands behind us, coming to our low spine. Clasp those hands together. This feels great for your shoulders. If it doesn't, release those hands and come back to what does. Wherever we are, doing what feels best for one more breath. And eventually, those hands come back to the earth to support our journey back to standing tall. We'll take an inhale to lift halfway, and then come all the way back up tall. This time those right toes point forward. We come back onto our left toes, heel lifts, and we'll step both feet to the front. Taking a grounding breath here. Really feel your feet supported by the earth. Long spine, your chin lifts. As we exhale, we'll begin to position ourselves to be comfortable by our chair to support our balance. And today that's going to be working towards dancer. Beginning with our left leg, we'll begin to feel our left knee begin to bend, and we'll allow our left heel to come towards our bum cheek or reach that left hand behind us, reaching towards the ankle. We'll try to keep our left knee beside its partner in alignment, feeling that hip flexor open, taking long breaths here, enjoying the stretch, enjoying the space. We'll eventually release that foot. We'll swing that knee forward with control and bring it into our chest. Give ourselves a big hug. Maybe give those ankles a gentle rotation. And we'll let that foot come back to the earth. We'll move to the opposite side, bringing a bend into that right knee this time. Feeling our right hand reach back and grasping it. Again, feeling that hip flexor open in front of us. Our hand pressing into our foot. Taking a breath here. Feeling all that space we're creating, and then slow and controlled, we'll eventually begin to release our hand from our foot, swing that knee up into our hip, and give ourselves a big hug. We'll take a gentle rotation through our ankle, any other movement that feels good, and then we'll allow that foot to come to the earth. We'll then step back from our chair, far enough so we can still reach forward as we hinge into our dancer, and then we'll prepare to come into our version of dancer. Starting on that left knee once again, we'll reach back towards that ankle. We'll reach our right hand forward, and as our left hand and foot press into each other, we'll hinge at the hips. That right hand coming for support to our chair perhaps. Feeling that left shoulder open behind us. Let's take long breaths here, our gaze coming to something that isn't moving to help with our balance. And eventually an exhale will release our hand and our foot, and we'll slowly come back to standing. Take a shimmy and a shake. Get ready for the opposite side, and this time bending into our right knee, reaching that right hand behind us. That left hand reaches forward, and once again we'll begin to fold at our hips so that our left hand reaches forward. That right knee reaches behind us, our right hand, our right foot are pressing into each other. Maybe that left hand comes to the chair for a little bit of help with our balance. We'll see if we can keep that right hip beside our left hip. And again, with our exhale, we'll release our hand and our foot. We'll come back to our neutral standing posture, taking any shimmies and shakes that feel good for us before we take a big inhale, reaching those fingertips tall, sweeping our hands beside us. With our next inhale, those hands will come through our heart center. We'll hinge at our hips. We'll melt forward into one final forward fold here. We'll give our head a gentle nod, yes. A gentle shake, no. We'll feel all of that space we've created through our spine, especially through that low spine, through our hips, our shoulders. Connect with our breath, feel it flowing through our body. We'll We'll begin to release our hands back towards the earth. With an inhale, we'll lift into a halfway lift. And as we exhale, we'll fold forward and then slowly begin to unwind all the way back up to standing. Those fingertips reach up to the sky and slowly melt through our heart center in prayer, coming to our chest. Taking a moment to feel our breath, feel our body, maybe feel any changes from when we first started until now. I hope you are ready to take on your afternoon. If it's your first time practicing with me, I would love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment, and if you aren't already a subscriber, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.